Yay! All right. Hello, and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, we are going to do EFT together, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. Tapping. So if that's what you're looking for, you've made it. I really wondered if the live was going to get to go this today, but we're here, and it's running smoothly. So we're just going to accept it and take it from there. I will give you a quick introduction of how this hour is going to go, and then we'll get right into it. So, the reason why EFT Universe does this live every week is so that we can contribute to your well being as a community. We don't just want to be information on a page. We want you to have an experience in your own body. We want you to build your empowerment. We want you to build a practice of EFT so that it's something that you actually receive a benefit from more than just, oh, that's cool information and sounds exciting and possibility. We want this to be a real life experience for you. Having said that, it does feel and look a little bit different than a normal session with a one-on-one EFT practitioner would be. So I jumped right into it. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. Um, it, Getting back into it. Sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. It took about 20 minutes to get the live to work, so I'm just relieved that we're here. Um, so the ways that it's different is because I can't see you, I can't read your body language. I tend to go overly vague with my suggestions because I want to incorporate as many experiences within what we're tapping on as possible. So, what I give you the opportunity for, and hopefully the empowerment to do, is to change my words. If I say scared and it feels more true to you to say fearful, or I'm not afraid of that. I'm angry about it. However that fits, or if you're like this doesn't experience, this experience isn't me at all, then to just change, entirely what we're tapping on. And I can give you guidance as we go throughout the session, how that can be incorporated. Um, Same with the tapping spots. I tend to just stay here or here throughout the entire session. And the reason for that is because I want to be as boring as possible. I am here for support, I am here for guidance. But when you experience change with EFT, it is in your own body and in communication with your own mind and your own nervous system. So while I'm here for you, if you need the guidance, what I really want is for you to feel complete freedom. And, because we usually start here, and then some people start here, some people start here, and then we go through, all of the tapping spots and then start over. But everybody has their own cadence. Everybody has their own, like if there are spots that are hard for you to reach, maybe you don't have shoulder mobility to reach all the way up here. Maybe you wear glasses or your face is sensitive right now. Maybe you have a cold and you don't want to touch under here. You do all of the stuff. Um, I want you to have the freedom to explore and experience in a supportive environment. What is it like if that this really feels important to me right here? So I'm going to stay right here for a while, and not feel like you're out of sync because you're not doing the same thing as me. So I'm here if you're like, oh yeah, tapping. I'll tap that. That helps me remember. I need to keep moving my own hand. But if you're having an experience in your body, I want you to be able to have that freedom to have that experience because that's where the change is occurring. Um, the way that we do suggestions here is I have a live chat that goes the entire time. I do check in on the chat a couple of times, and I incorporate as many suggestions as I can that we get in the chat. If we don't do it specifically on what you've suggested, again, I do my best to try and give you opportunities to incorporate it in a different tap. But hopefully by the end, whether we get to your specific suggestion or not, your nervous system is feeling calmer, you're feeling better, you're feeling seen and heard because this is a supportive place for you to come and to gain this practice. If you have a suggestion that's just a little too vulnerable, you don't want to put it out, on the internet for everyone to see, you can always email me. And if you have questions about something that we're doing, or like, I liked that, but where do I go from there? I tend to not answer questions unless I can give like a quick response in the chat. because I want to get as much tapping in as possible in these sessions because that's what I want you to feel is the response of the tapping. But I want you to have the information too. So I have my email up at the top of the chat. So if there's something you want to write about that I can bring up anonymously the next week so that you can still experience how to tap on that, bring up anonymously the next week so that you can still experience how to tap on that, send me an email. If you have questions about something, send me an email. We want you to have the resources that you need in order to progress in this practice. This is a lifelong relationship, not just with us as we're here to support you, but within your own body. And so we really want to foster that practice from the very beginning for you or wherever you are in your tapping practice. And I put it there visually. I will also speak it out loud so you can hear what my email is. It is Fable, FABLE, at EFTuniverse.com. Alrighty, I think I've covered all the basics. So I'm going to say hi real fast in the chat. We'll take just a quick moment to get grounded, and then we'll get right into our tapping. I do have a few suggestions from one of our community members, and I think I'm going to bring up one of the suggestions today, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. Alrighty. Hi, Betty Ballerina. Happy holidays to you too. Hi, Mary. Okay, tapping to lower cortisol. Thank you. And I appreciate the fact that you specifically said cortisol and not just stress, because there's actually clinical evidence of specifically cortisol lowering throughout tapping sessions. So thank you for that. Hello, FMG. Hi, Mama Hutch. Aw, I'm glad to have you back. Hi, Black Scout. And Mary's suggestion is to tap on grief. Thank you for that. Hello, Serena. Hello, Dad. I might be here long. I feel better soon. Having some throat issues. Sometimes I just have a gravelly throat, and I don't know if it has to do with like my connective tissue thing. But it's just, yeah, I don't feel under the weather, but thank you very much for that. Hello, Joyce. I'm so glad that you're here. Oh, we're grateful for you too, Mama Hutch. Thank you for your words. Hi, Tanya. Glad that you're here. I love my cozy outfit. Thank you. I'm just cold, so yeah, cozy. Hello, Shapermata. I'm not quite sure where the name break happens in your tag. So is it okay if I just call you Shaw? Let me know how you would like for me to refer to you. Love and happy holidays to you as well. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get grounded, and then I will mention the community email, and we'll pick our first topic and start tapping. So for grounding today, let's try a little bit of grounding through movement. I don't think we've quite done it this way before. It's going to be repetitive movement, okay? So one way that we can soothe is moms tend to do it naturally or anybody when they're holding like a little baby or something that's needing comforting, is we tend to rock, right? It's just a soothing, common movement that happens. That doesn't have to be what you choose, but I would like for you, whatever you choose to be repetitive. It could be, slowly touching your arms. We don't want this, because this is going to excite nerves. We want it to be slow and gentle. It can be something very simple. It can be just rubbing your hands back and forth. And you can try several things. It could be just smoothing down, if this feels good to you, down your legs, just whatever movement feels good. So you can try a few things out right now, just as we're talking through it. Where can you give your body some soothing movement, maybe some soothing touch as well? A place that, can feel really good is rubbing back and forth across the chest, almost kind of making a figure 8, with the crossover happening just right at your sternum, or even circles can feel really good, and you can see what direction might feel better with that. That can feel good. Or like I was saying, the rocking. If rocking back and forth and I'm starting to relax, I feel my body sighing. or even going in a circle. All of these are just soft movements that our bodies, our nervous systems can likely recognize as, oh, this is comforting. This feels nice. So as you're engaging, and you can do a couple at the same time if you want, rocking and smoothing, just allow yourself to respond. We're not forcing anything. We're not trying anything. We're just incorporating some nice, slow gestures. And if you feel yourself relaxing, acknowledge that. If you feel like, oh, yeah, I don't want to sit up straight right now, that's okay. Allow yourself to slouch. We'll sit back up straight in just a moment. And if you feel like sighing or taking a deep breath, give yourself permission to do that as that feels good. And then if you're like, oh, okay, my arms are kind of done with this, give yourself permission to change what you're doing. If you're like, I think I'm done with rocking. Yeah, I'm kind of done with the movement. I think I'll just sit here still for, the last little bit till we're done with this. That's okay too. All we're doing right now is letting our bodies and our nervous systems and our minds know that it has permission. They have permission to slow down and relax and feel comforted right now. So whatever movement gives that signal is what we're looking for. Okay. So go ahead and settle. Notice if the way you're sitting or standing or laying feels good. If there's another way that you could easily adjust to make it feel a little bit better, go ahead and give yourself permission to do that. And let's go ahead and take one deep breath. Let's go ahead and breathe in and out. Nicely done. Alrighty. Consider yourself grounded. It's just a nice, easy, smooth way to do that. I'm going to double check the chat. Okay, is that Usha? Thank you for letting me know. I need just a little bit more help. If you could phonetically let me know how to pronounce the U, and I'm guessing the SHA is Sha. Thank you so much for letting me know. It really does matter to me to address you in the way that feels good, so that you know that I care. Okay, Tanya's seconding the idea of cortisol reduction. Hi, Tamara. Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. We've missed you since you've been gone. I'm glad that you're back today. Yawning already. Yay. Hand over heart feels good while gently rubbing with hands. Nice. I love that, Mama Hutch. Okay, good. Alrighty. So where do we want to start? Oh, and the suggestion from our community member. Let me just pull that up real fast. Okay, so what they brought up is actually one of the, it's a very specific clinical EFT, not practice, what's the word I'm looking for, aspect. It's one of the 48 techniques. There we go. There's the word I was looking for, which is what do you do if you're tapping on something and then you have basically some part of you mocks it or reverberates back negativity. So if you're tapping and saying, I deeply and completely accept myself, and then immediately there's a part of you that says, gross, no, you don't. You're disgusting, or you're not acceptable, you're not lovable. Just those harsh words that just rejects whatever it is that you just tried to incorporate. What do you do with that? And the quick opportunity that I will give you to kind of combat that is don't reject it, first of all, because that speaking up is your brain saying, hey, I know that you want this, but this is in the way. It's not a this can't happen sort of a thing. See it as your brain saying, oh, you want this? You got to get rid of this first. So that's information. Okay, when we have that sort of feedback, even though it can be painful and irritating and we can have feelings about it, it's information. This point specifically, this tapping point on the side of the hand, is where we're told to tap in order to best release that. And it just has to do with, because this is in the small intestine meridian, and that has to do with a lot of decision making. I won't go into all of what that can mean as far as Chinese medicine is concerned, but this is the tapping point for that. And then there are procedures that we can do to further unweave that, and we can play around with that a little bit today. We tend to play around with that generally, a little bit of back and forth while we tap here pretty often. But it can be even more specific than the way that we tend to do it here. But I wanted to give you that. If you're feeling that kind of pushback, then this is a good tapping spot to go to. And then I will do a video and post it to our channel of how you can have a whole little mini session just focused on that. If you've got something really big that pushes back really hard, very common for that to happen. I want you to have the tools to be able to address that. So, but now you've got that little tidbit that you can at least start doing right now. Um, I'm just going back through the suggestions. Cortisol, grief. Um, Love the cortisol. Okay, we've got a lot for cortisol. We will definitely do that. I'm just trying to think. Um, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's start with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping while we're talking. And actually, since this is something that tends to do with overwhelm, let's go ahead and go to this tapping spot. And if you're not familiar with this one, it is not one of the ones that is typically in the basic recipe, the initial setup. But it does have to do with a point that deals with a different technique called the 9 gamut, which we tend to go to when we're having a lot of overwhelm. So we might even do the eye movements with this when we start tapping on cortisol specifically. But let's talk about it first before we incorporate any of that. When you think about wanting to lower cortisol, first, when you start thinking about it, immediately, where do you feel it? Where do you feel the impact of that cortisol that you feel like I'm sure I have way too much cortisol right now? Do you feel it in what you would call your gut? Do you feel it more like in your stomach, where just whatever part of the body you feel it and what you call that part of your body, regardless if it matches what anybody else calls it? Okay. And if you have multiple parts of your body where you feel it, that's okay. Just allow that awareness to exist right now. And as you're aware of that, also consider, when you think of lowering cortisol and what cortisol is, what is that definition to you? Is it stress? Is it a series of experiences, symptoms that you have in your body? Is it a negative medical issue? Is it a fear of, well, if I don't lower my cortisol, then, you know, uh, this in the future is going to be really bad. So I need to prevent it. I need to get rid of it. I'm barreling down towards this horrible outcome. What is it that inspires you to want this to change? And inspire may sound like too positive of a word. Maybe it's more, um, I'm so fearful. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so unhappy. It can come from many, many different emotions, but identify yours. And it's okay if there are multiple aspects speaking up. That would make a lot of sense for that to be true for you. And lastly, let's consider, what do I believe is true? what is true about me because I have this issue right now. Uh, I don't have control of my life. I'm afraid of my future. Um, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can get things done. I don't think I'm gonna, you know, I think I'll fail. I feel like I'm failing right now. Um, what do you feel like is true about you right now that needs to be different? That adjusting cortisol is going to either fix or be a part of the solution. And notice as we are having this conversation, but not yet engaging more than just tapping here, notice if your body is talking more loudly to you. And if it is, that's okay. I want you to know that if the volume is getting turned up while we're tapping on this, that just means that your body is saying, great, I'm so ready for this. Let's do this. But if it gets overwhelming for you, then you can even hold the spot and you can allow yourself to step away from part of that and go, you know what, I'm not going to think about this so hard. And I'm not going to feel it so much in my body. And it's okay for you to reset some of those boundaries so that as you're tapping, this doesn't become something too big to deal with right now. Okay. It's okay to take it in granular pieces. What's most important is that you feel empowered approaching it, even if you feel so many other things as well, even if they're contradictory. We need empowerment to be a part of that. Okay. And I see that the chat has moved. So I'm just going to double check. OSHA, thank you for letting me know. Um, Hi, Leslie. I'm glad that you're here live. Love the cortisol lowering. Great. Okay. Feeling the gut between the shoulder blades. Awesome. Vitality, gain the belly I've never had. Awesome. Thank you for putting all of these up because I assure you, you are not alone. And everything that's been listed. Alrighty. So now that we have these aspects of how we are being affected by this one subject, okay, continue tapping on this spot. And let's go ahead and incorporate the eye movements of the 9 gamut. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. You can just watch me and then you can start to incorporate it by yourself. So first thing is we're going to look straight ahead and we're not going to move our head. So we're going to think about our nose being at a fixed point straight ahead of us. And we're going to move our eyes on the periphery of our ability. And I want you to strain your eyes. So don't stress so hard that it's painful. If you start to feel dizzy or pain in your eyes, that can be normal depending on how much eye movement those muscles, get. But if it reaches that point, then I want you to relax what you're doing even more. Okay. So ideally, we're going to hold our nose straight forward and we're just going to look up to the amount that's comfortable. And then we're going to choose a side to turn our vision in. And it doesn't matter which way because we're going to go both directions. So look up and choose a direction to go and just slowly start like a clock face going around in a circle and go slow. This is not about speed. And if that's difficult, then you can go up, down, up, down, and then side, 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 and just do that pattern over and over. I'm going to lead as if we're going in circles, but if you need to go up, down, side, side, you have full permission to do that and support. Okay. So go ahead and keep circling. And I want you to just keep those aspects in your mind before we even start with the phrasing. And I just want you to think about everything that we've talked about, where you're feeling cortisol in your body, where that response is. Keep circling your eyes. I want you to think about where you're feeling these sensations in your body. We're tapping and we're circling and we're tuning into feeling in our body. Good. Okay, and now we're going to focus in on what other aspects did I talk about? How do we feel? What did this mean? What does this mean about us? Because I'm feeling this stress, because I'm feeling the need to lower this cortisol. What does this mean about me? What does this mean? Just think about the thoughts that have popped up with that. And we're still circling. We're thinking, what does this mean? What does this mean? And what we're doing here is we're letting our nervous system have the opportunity to regulate, to recognize that these thoughts are not harmful. They may not be comfortable, but they're not harmful. Still circling, still tapping. What does this mean? What does this mean in my life? Okay, and go ahead and stop the circles and switch directions, going the other direction. Okay, let's go ahead and start some phrasing. As I tap about the effects of this cortisol in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I'm really affected by all this cortisol in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel so much reaction right now surrounding cortisol, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Cortisol, 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 cortisol. Switch directions with your eyes. Cortisol. We're going to repeat this because we want to get bored of it. We want our nervous system to go, cortisol. This cortisol. This cortisol in my body. Danger. Danger. Cortisol. Danger. Cortisol. Danger. Danger in my body. Cortisol. Danger? Cortisol. Danger? Cortisol. Hormone. Cortisol. Hormone. Cortisol. Messenger. Cortisol. Messenger. Switch directions one more time. Cortisol. Response. Cortisol. Cortisol. Okay, I'll go ahead and pause. Let your eyes relax and blink a few times. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And now let's go to our normal tapping spot. And this is where, if you want to tap through all of the spots, go ahead and take that at your cadence. I'm going to stay here. I wonder, as I consider my thoughts and feelings around cortisol, have I maybe been led to believe things that aren't true? Yes. No. I don't know. Okay. Well, I wonder, even if the things that I know about cortisol are true, is the way that I'm considering them balanced? Is it fair? Yes. No. I don't know. I wonder, what's a fair way to consider cortisol? What does that even mean? Well, how do I consider it now? When I think of cortisol, I think bad. Maybe I think stress. Maybe I think destructive. Maybe I think difficult. Maybe I think compounding negativity. Okay, well, even if these are exactly how I feel about cortisol right now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I'm not trying to think negatively about my body. I feel negative feelings about my experience. And I do want to know why. Where is it coming from? What can I point at? Maybe what can I blame? Where do I place my anger? Where do I place my frustration? Where do I put my attention to fix the problem? I allow myself to have these thoughts, these feelings, and these considerations. I'm trying. And it's okay that I'm trying, even if I don't have an answer yet. Well, I wonder, why does the body have cortisol? Is it to be destructive? Does it exist to destroy me? Is it a self-destruction button? Yes. No. I don't know. Okay. Well, is it true that people die from cortisol? Is that a morbidity statement that I hear? Is it something that, people say, oh, so and so passed away? Yeah, cortisol, it gets you. No, but I do correlate cortisol with causes of death. Sure, absolutely. While it may not be labeled in that way, it has been labeled as a culprit, as a big, big contributor to a lot of health problems. And I know that I have problems. Therefore, it must be cortisol. Yes. Well, not necessarily, no. I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? It would be really great to know. I would love to have clarity on it. And maybe I want it to be cortisol. Ooh, maybe I just really want to get that substance. Get what it deserves, that villain cortisol. Or maybe I don't care. I just want something to make sense. And then I want that thing that makes sense to have a solution so that things can get better. Things getting better. Things getting better in my body. Things getting better. Things getting better in my life. I want things to get better. So, doesn't it make sense that if I want things to get better, I have to chase after what's broken? I have to figure it out. I need the bad thing to be described, identified, so I can get rid of it. And then things are better. That's how it's done, right? Yes. No. I don't know. Actually, I wonder. That is a way. Sure. Absolutely. But are there other ways as well? Because what if I build a metaphor around this and I say my body is my house and cortisol is something that just it keeps sneaking in my house and I don't want like it keeps sweeping it out, but it just keeps getting back in. Is it helpful for me to have a bigger broom, sweep it out faster, easier, more at a time? Sure. Is it helpful for me to reinforce my walls, little spots where this sneaky cortisol is getting in, creating boundaries so it doesn't ever get in the first place? Yeah, hmm, that would also make sense. Okay. Well, what would those look like in real life? Metaphors are great, but how do I apply it? I wonder. For as much time as I worry and I feel the impact, do I give myself permission to have space to sweep or space to build walls? Do I have permission in my environment, in my own body space, to relax, to cry? After all, science has proven When we cry, we literally cry out cortisol. It comes out in the tears. So, do I have permission to cry? Or is there something inside of me that says, no, no, it's not simple. It's complicated. It's hard. It's difficult. And we need to science it harder. It needs to be a betterer solution, a bigger solution. I don't have time for all these little things. As I consider what permissions I have to engage any solution that I have, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, isn't it true that as I balance my nervous system and just talking right now and tapping right now, I am addressing my cortisol? Am I allowing myself to acknowledge that? Do I feel good about that? Or is there something else in my way? Is it possible I'm not really lacking solutions, but I'm lacking permission? Permission. As I consider where I might be struggling to give myself permission, it's possible I've got a long history with that. It's possible I'm not quite sure that's a factor. But whether or not I see how this plays into where I want to go, I give myself permission in this moment, right now, to give it a try. Even if all I do is say, body, you're stressed, I give you permission to let it go. We're going to take a deep breath and we're just going to blow out all the ugly. We're going to blow out all the stress. And I don't care if it makes sense. I don't care if it's scientifically backed by 10,000 papers. I don't care if other people think I'm crazy for it. I'm doing it in private and I'm not telling anybody about it anyway. But I give myself permission to make this mine and to acknowledge the helpfulness of it. Even if it feels awkward, even if I feel oddly vulnerable, I still choose to give it a try. Because isn't it true that if this entire year, 365 days, I had little tiny grains of relief, that would be hundreds of grains of relief. So it's okay if it's not everything all at once. And I give myself permission to receive solutions as they come, to engage solutions as I remember them, and to feel good that that does make a difference. And I give myself permission to let cortisol exist. I don't need to be afraid of it. And I give myself permission to govern it, to allow myself to explore my relationship with it in my body and to set the boundaries where I want them. As I do this, I deeply and completely accept myself. pause and take a deep breath. Now take just a moment and feel into your body. I want you to think the word cortisol again. And remember the response that you had before we tapped on it, the reaction that you had, and notice, is it different? Is it not there at all? Is it smaller? Does it feel further away? Is it still there, but you also feel positive feelings at the same time? As we were tapping, did you feel yawning, sighing, stretching, crying, deep breathing? Do you feel more positive right now? Do you feel tingliness in your body? Those are some of the signs that are positive signs that your nervous system, your brain, your subconscious brain, where all of these decisions are made, heard what you were saying because of the communication you were giving. And now it is changing those channels and said, you're right, this is a better way to approach this, on it. And it's rearranging things in there, and it's going to continue to do that even though you're not tapping on it anymore. So excellent job. All right, we have time for one more. I feel like that went really fast. I know we kind of did a two-part tap on that, but it still feels like this hour's just flown by. Yes, thank you, Craig, for what you said. And you too, Joyce. Yes. I love that, you're mentioning the positive aspects of cortisol. Absolutely. Um, Yay, Tanya, so happy. Um, I think this last little bit, I want to wrap it into all of the feelings surrounding the holidays. So this will be tapping in positive feelings, allowing space for feelings that don't really have a place to be called positive or negative, and how to feel supported through negative feelings. Because the holidays are a complicated time, right? Even if it's our favorite time of year, there can be aspects of it that are difficult. So go ahead and take a moment to just think of how this can apply to you. And if it doesn't quite apply, I am going to say like this moment or this space of time, this time of the year. So it could be, maybe it doesn't have to do with holidays, but it has to do with the fact that, oh my gosh, it's the end of the year, a whole other year has gone by, and how that's affecting you. It could be this time of the year, meaning the season that you're in, and maybe that's a struggle for you. And it could be this time of the year, just this particular place that you're in a relationship or in your career. Um, just some quantification of this next little chunk of time and how you have an emotional relationship with what's happening within that time. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and tap. As I allow myself to shift my focus and consider this next little bit of time that I have, this present moment through the next couple of months. And as I consider the significance of it, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I consider all of the feelings that I have, the feelings of positive, the feelings of negative, the feelings I might call heavy, feelings I might call light, engaging, even feelings that I don't even know what to call them, even if there's an absence of feeling. I allow myself to consider them all, and I deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay that I have all of these feelings, even if it doesn't feel like they fit, or even if I don't want them to fit. I don't want them to have a place right now, even if I don't want to consider them. I don't know what to do with them. And especially if I'm judging myself for the fact that they exist. With all of this, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I choose to give myself compassion. I choose to give myself acknowledgement. This moment is not just about this moment. This person that I am didn't just come into being. I have a lot of history, and I am the sum of those experiences. And I'm a complex equation. So it's okay if this moment, this next little bit of time, reflects that. It's okay to be complex. Even if I was taught I need to be easy and simple, I need to be pleasant, I need to be easygoing, I need to be easy to be around, I need to be available to be supportive for others. Even if I feel pressured, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself in this space that I am. And to the best of my ability, I give myself permission to be exactly what I am and to be it without any judgment. In fact, to the best of my ability, I give myself permission to be completely loved, to be seen, to be heard, to be supported. I choose to give myself permission to care, and not selectively. I choose to care that I exist, and I choose to care how I exist in this moment. And I choose to acknowledge that it's a vast array, and it's okay that it feels how it feels, even if it's not what I want right now, even if it's not what I was hoping for, it's not where I wanted to be. It's okay because I choose right now to make it okay. I give myself permission to have that government over this space, even if it's the first time that I choose to give myself this complete permission on my own, by myself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, and I care. It's okay, and I forgive you. It's okay, and I see you. It's okay, and I'm proud of you. And it's okay for me to be proud, even if I'm not to the place I want to be yet. I'm proud that I'm here. I mean, if I looked backwards at the equation, huh, at everything, yeah, even if I did make mistakes, even if I do have regrets, even if, oh, I wish I would have known back then, even if I still have a complicated relationship with myself, I'm here and I'm continuing. And I wonder, what if, what if this moment became a really important moment? What if I could choose that? What if I could make it that? What if I didn't need an outwards anything? It would still be great. If it happens, sure, love it. But what if I don't have to wait for it? What if I just choose it? Even if in my past I've been told that's not allowed, even if in my past I've been afraid because I was taught that that was punishable. I'm not in that moment anymore. Those moments happened down the line. They're deep in my equation. And maybe at some point I need to go back and adjust some things. But I'm talking about this moment right now where I have this space with myself and I don't have to consider anything else. What if this moment is meaningful and impactful and huge because I show up for me? What if this moment I trust and I try? I care and I acknowledge and I embrace and I offer. And what if I allow that connection, this connection, my connection that I'm starting right now with myself to be a part of my equation? This moment, the next moment that's coming, tonight's moments, tomorrow's moments, so that no matter what I'm encountering in this next little bit of my life, this gets to be a part of it too. If it's hard, I get to make it a little bit easier. If it's a good moment, I get to make it a little bit happier. I get to do that. And I get to choose that it's time. It's here. I wrote it down. It's in my equation. It's done. And as I incorporate this into my equation, I may not know how to do it yet, And so I may feel like I'm guessing, and that's okay. And I may forget that I've started doing this, and that's okay. When I remember, I'll plug it back in. And I may have some pushback inside of myself. That's okay. I give myself permission for this to be whatever experience I have, and no reaction to it, no outcome means that it doesn't get to exist because I'm keeping it. I'm keeping me. This moment, my moment, all of me, all of my feelings, all of my experiences for this next little bit of time. I choose to have full permission to be supported and to stay connected. All of me. And as I learn how to do this, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause on tapping. Take a deep breath. I know we're over a few minutes, so just really quick, I want you to think about where we started on this tap and how you felt about the array of feelings and how you feel about it now, how you feel about the space that you have for those feelings inside of your body. And if you feel a difference, if you were sighing, crying, giggling, releasing, relaxing, um, feeling warmer, feeling brighter, all of those are positive signs that your subconscious brain said, I like this better. Let's incorporate this perspective. And it will continue to do that. So good job. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you have the best week ever. And I will be here next week as well. If you don't get to join me live, I will miss you, but there will always be a recording posted that you can follow up with later. Again, if you have any questions or anything to follow up with, you can always email me. I love you so much. I'll be thinking about you, and I can't wait to see you next week, right before the new year. So be thinking about if that's something that you want to incorporate, if that's important to you. I know that there are different New Year's that can be celebrated. So yeah, we'll roll with it, however that looks for next week. So take care, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.